Did you know that Chief MKO Abiola financed his secondary education as a teenage musician? Yeah, this is the part of him that most people do not know. But relax, because I will tell you by the time you get to the end of this video. Now, before Chief MKO Abiola ever became the global business icon that we all knew him to be, he faced dire financial circumstances during his teenage years. He was born in a humble background in Abeokuta, and at the time, he was a student of Baptist Boys High School in Abeokuta in those days. But the fact was that his family could not finance his secondary education. So, the 15-year-old MKO Abiola had no other option than to find a teenage band musician that played in and around Abeokuta so that he can be able to get funds to finance his secondary education. The name of his musical troupe was called the Kashi Boys, which after a time it was renamed to the Kazakh Youth Band. MKO Abiola was the leader of his band. He played the drums and he sang in that band, and he led the band to perform in local social gatherings and naming ceremonies and funerals and traditional weddings in and around Abeokuta and the neighboring towns. And then the modest earnings that he got from those, those performances, those gigs that he got at the time, is what he used to finance his secondary education. Playing in those music gigs and getting the money was not just what he achieved in the time that he was, the leader of that band. It helped him to build his character. It helped him to connect with people that matter in the society at the time. And one remarkable thing about Chief MKO Abiola was that even though he was the leader of the band and he was playing the drums and he was singing at the time, his bandmates always agreed that he has a head for numbers, right? Every dime that they made, Chief MKO Abiola keeps a record of it and makes sure that everyone gets their percentage the way they were supposed to get it. And then when he finished his secondary education and eventually got a scholarship on the Western region at the time to study at the University of Glasgow, he eventually traded his musical instruments to go to the university in Glasgow to study accountancy. The fact remains that most people do not know this, but this brief stint that he had as a teenage musician, it remained a proud, foundational chapter of his life and his rise to prominence. The lesson I've learned from this story is that there was a time in Nigeria that the son of nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. That's the lesson I've learned. What lessons have you learned from this video? Let me know your thoughts and your opinions and the lessons that you've learned in the comments section. I'll see you in my next video. Know your history.